Terrell Owens made his debut in an Eagles uniform on August 20th, 2004 versus the Baltimore Ravens, week 2 of the preseason. And on the very first play of the game, the very first play as an Eagle, McNabb under center. So, wait, back to pass. He's looking. He's going long. He's got Terrell Owens at the 50, the 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, T.O. And it began. And that's what I want to see tomorrow from Carson, Wenz, and Deshaun Jackson. First play, bomb, score a touchdown, and get them the hell out. 18th pick in the NFL draft.
Hey, make us lunch. We're hungry.
Dallas still stinks. You're my King Dingbat here, and so we are one day away from the Eagles, Ravens, week 3 preseason, the dress rehearsal. This is when the starters are supposed to play like a whole half. But this year, I'm not sure that that's going to happen. But there is still a lot to see from this game, a lot that I want to watch. And I want to get into it right now with you guys. Now, I'm sorry that this video is late today. I didn't get home till late, so it was the soonest I could put it up. Be sure to be here tomorrow, 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. Eagles, Ravens. I'll be streaming that game live, and it should be a lot of fun. So week 3 of the preseason is usually considered the dress rehearsal. This is when you see the starters for at least like usually a half, maybe even the first drive of the third quarter. This year with the Eagles, I'm not sure what they're going to do. It sounds like, from everything I'm hearing, that Doug may wind up sitting guys like Carson, Wenz, and Peters, and most of these guys are not going to play. The players kind of seem all right with it from everything I've heard. There's a couple guys that sounded like they would like to get a little bit of work, but for the most part, it sounds like the Eagles have given these guys a lot of reps during this joint practice week with the Baltimore Ravens, and I wouldn't be surprised if they sit them. Now, me personally, I would like to see Carson Wentz play. I would like to see him play. I would like to see Deshaun Jackson play. I'd like to see Alshon. I'd like to see him come out, play like a quarter, maybe a quarter and a half, something like that. But I'd like to see them get work because I don't want to go into week 1 versus the Redskins and these guys haven't been in any game time situations. They come out, they're a little rusty. I don't want to see it. Now, I know the argument is you don't want Carson Wentz to get hurt. That's the worst thing that could happen. And I hear you on that. But at the same time, it's like, we need him to get some reps. We need him to get some work. Remember last year, he misses the first few games, didn't practice all spring, all summer, comes in, he was kind of rusty, he was kind of off target. And not just him, but even the receivers and guys who missed preseason, seemed like it takes a while to get things going. And I would hate to be in a situation where it's like the fourth quarter versus Washington, and we've been kind of sloppy all game, and we just finally get it going and beat them, but it's because we were so rusty from not playing during the preseason. So I would like to see Carson Wentz get some work. I mean, look, it's just football. He can't get injured this year. We all know that, but we can't treat him like the next play he's going to get injured. I think we got to just put him out there and let him go. Whatever happens is going to happen. Hopefully he's smarter. Hopefully he doesn't take any shots. But I would like to see Carson get some work in. I'd like to see him get some time down with Deshaun, with Alshon. Maybe give Ertz a couple snaps. It doesn't have to be a long time, but I think something at game speed would be good for the Eagles, at least for week 3 of the preseason, because next week you don't play your starters. I don't even play my second stringers next week, so why not give these guys one chance, one quarter to play and see what they can do. That's what I'm hoping. I'm not sure that that's going to happen, though. I would say probably not. I don't see any of them playing. Now, I will say this, too. There is an argument to be made for him sitting, because if you think about his rookie year in preseason, he pretty much missed the whole thing. Came out versus Cleveland, went right down the field, scored. He was really good for like the first 3 weeks. First game against Indianapolis last year, first game back, first series, goes down and scores. So there's something to be said about it. I guess I trust the coaches, whatever they decide to do. But me personally, yeah, I would like to see the starters play. I would. Now, some other guys that I definitely want to watch tomorrow, I hope they get a lot of playing time. I want to see more Miles Sanders. I want to see what he can do, because he's just so exciting to watch when he has the ball. Even the few runs he made last week, they're just exciting. I love watching him. Obviously, Andre Dillard, Arcega, whoever you want to say, Whiteside, I want to see more of him. And, there are guys that are supposed to come back, like Corey Clement, I think, They're saying he looks real healthy. He looks fast. He looks good. He's got a lot of pop in his step. I want to see Corey Clement get some playing time tomorrow. I want to watch him. I want to see what he could do, what he could offer this team. Because I've missed Corey Clement, to be honest with you. I've missed seeing him on the field. It's going to be good to get him back. We know Richard Rodgers is injured and he's going to be out a few weeks. So I think tomorrow is very important for Joshua Perkins. I want to see him step up, have a really, really good game, and solidify that third tight end spot, because we really need to get it solidified, because I'm not sure what the Eagles are going to do with Richard Rodgers. This is the second year in a row where he's going to be hurt for an extended period of time. So Corey Clement, Joshua Perkins, of course, Miles Sanders, and really that whole battle at the running back spot, right? Josh Adams, to me, has not been very good. I think Wendell Smallwood has been probably one of the best running backs during preseason. I can't believe I'm saying that. Boston Scott, I want to see what he can do. I want him to make this team. I'm not going to lie. I'm rooting for Boston Scott to make this team, because I think he's such a threat on special teams as well as a running back. He's fast. He's fast, and he does look like a Darren Sproles. Now, we've talked about, how many running backs they have. Howard, Sanders, Sproles, Clement are making his team. So who's going to be that fifth running back? Are they going to have a fifth running back? Is it going to be Smallwood? Is it going to be Boston Scott? I don't know what's going to happen. So it's an interesting battle going on there. Same thing at the wide receiver position. I would say Mac Hollins, he's back from injury. He played good on special teams last week, but he really didn't do much offensively. And if you base things on how guys have performed this year, who's making the team, he's not making the team right now. I think he will make the team, because I don't think they want to let him go. But he's been outperformed by Marquand Michel by a lot, and I don't want to lose Marquand Michel. Greg Ward has even made, he's even made some big plays. So what are we going to do at wide receiver? That battle tomorrow at wide receiver position is going to be very, very interesting. Can Mac Hollins step up? Is Marquand Michel going to go out there and just keep performing, keep doing his thing? Agadosi, I want to see this kid. He's 6'6". He shows flashes, and I want him to at least be on the practice squad. I don't expect him to make the 53-man roster, but I want him to be good enough where the Eagles bring him back and put him on the practice squad. So I'm going to be watching him very, very closely tomorrow as well. And then on the defensive side of the ball, to me, there's one big, giant battle going on between Deshaun Hall and Josh Sweat. I think the battle for that fourth defensive end spot is very interesting. Now, I think they're going to keep 5 defensive ends. I think Sweat and Hall will both make the team, but who goes higher in the depth chart, and what do you do with Sharif Miller? Can Sharif Miller come out and have another good game? He had a good game against the Jags. I think, like I said about Sharif Miller, I think he's going to have he stubbed his toe, go on the IR type thing. I think the Eagles will stash him. He'll never make the practice squad, so they can't waive him and then think that he'll clear waivers and then come back on the practice squad. He'll get picked up quick. You can't do that with him. So you're going to have to either keep him, or you're going to have to put Sharif Miller on the IR, or you're going to have to trade somebody. That's the only thing you can do, because Deshaun Hall is making his team, Josh Sweat is making his team, and I don't think the Eagles are going to just let Sharif Miller go. So we got to watch. I mean, it's an interesting battle. Those guys are battling, man, and to me, Deshaun Hall is winning so far. I think he's won the first 2 games, even though Josh Sweat played pretty good last week. Deshaun Hall has been fantastic. He's been fantastic. And that is really the big battle that I'm going to be watching. That's probably the most interesting position and battle on this team that's going on right now. Josh Sweat versus Deshaun Hall, and Sharif Miller is making noise as well. So we got to keep our eye on that, because this is very interesting. And I'll tell you another guy who's very, very interesting, and that is T.J. Edwards. T.J. Edwards has started to make plays. I think he's come on in the last few games, and I like this kid. I want to see more of him. I want him to make this roster. I'm rooting for him to make this roster. L.J. Fort is another guy who I think has been fantastic during preseason, and I think he's a sneaky good pickup for the Eagles, and I think he's going to provide really good depth for this team. So I'll be watching very closely those two guys. So there are definitely interesting battles going on in this team with the running back at the back end, the receivers at the back end, and then that fourth spot at the defensive end position is very interesting. I even think the linebacking situation is interesting because Braden may not be ready week 1. Cruzier Hill won't be. I thought Zach Brown has played good when he's played in preseason. The practices, I haven't heard much on him. Nothing good anyways, but in the games, he's been good. LJ Ford has been good, and I'm very excited about TJ Edwards. So we're going to have to watch these guys all very closely. You know, some other guys that I definitely want to keep my eye on is going to be this Brent Toth, the Army tackle that they brought in. He's getting work at the right tackle. I want to see what he could do. I heard they demoted Wisniewski today. I'm not sure who they're putting at center to replace him, but I want to watch that because Wisniewski has had a snap problem at the center position all preseason, and they demoted him. So we'll have to see who they're putting, at the second string center out there. Big V, I'm always watching him because they're moving him around so much, and I think he's possible trade bait, even though I don't know if he'll get traded or not. But there's a lot of interesting matchups to watch tomorrow. I do hope that the starters get some playing time. If it's me, I give them like a quarter and a half. Pull them out, then I get my second string out at halftime. Now next week when we play, I wouldn't, week 4, I wouldn't play Miles Sanders, I wouldn't play Arcega-Whiteside, I wouldn't play any of my tight end, I wouldn't play Ertz or Goddard, I wouldn't play anybody in my first or second string. I would pretty much sit most everybody, and only the people who are fighting for that last few roster spots would play in week 4. But hopefully tomorrow, week 3, hopefully we're going to see somebody, and it'll be interesting. I will be streaming tomorrow, so come hang out with me, and it'll be an interesting game. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Don't be a dingbat, and tell me who you want to see tomorrow, who you want to watch. And of course, like I said, don't be a dingbat.